We've all been told the same thing our entire lives. Eat more fruit, it's healthy, end of story. But that advice is a little too simple, and it might be costing you more than you think. Some fruits genuinely are nutritional powerhouses, packed with fiber, antioxidants, and nutrients your body needs every single day. But others come with hidden risks that almost nobody talks about. Dangerous interactions with common medications, sugar spikes that hit harder than a candy bar, and in rare cases, even outright toxicity if eaten the wrong way. Today, I'm breaking this down into two simple halves. First, the 8 fruits worth making a permanent part of your diet. Then, the 8 fruits you need to eat with real caution, including one that can interfere with medications millions of people take every single day, and another that's been linked to actual poisoning cases when eaten incorrectly. This isn't about fearing fruit, it's about eating smarter. Stick around to the end, because fruit number 14 on this list might be one you're eating every single day without knowing the risk. Welcome back. Fruit has this universal reputation as the safest, healthiest category of food out there. And for the most part, that reputation is well earned. Fruits provide fiber, vitamins, antioxidants, and natural hydration that processed snacks simply can't match. But fruit is an enormous category, covering everything from a low-sugar berry to a syrup-soaked canned peach. And treating them all as equally healthy is where a lot of people go wrong. Some fruits offer maximum nutrition with minimal downside. Others come with real caveats. Extremely high sugar content, interactions with medications, or in specific situations, genuine health risks. So today, we're splitting this into 2 clear lists. First, 8 fruits that nutrition experts consistently recommend and why they earn that spot. Then, 8 fruits that deserve a second look, along with the specific reasons each one made this list, because context, not blanket fear, is what actually matters here. If you find this kind of practical nutrition breakdown useful, subscribe now, because we cover topics like this every week. Let's start with the fruits you should be eating. Part 1. 8 fruits you should be eating. Fruit 1. Berries, blueberries, strawberries, and raspberries top nearly every list of healthy fruits for good reason. They're relatively low in sugar compared to most fruits, while being exceptionally high in fiber and antioxidants, particularly a group called anthocyanins, which have been studied for their role in protecting cells from oxidative stress. Their high fiber-to-sugar ratio means they have a gentler effect on blood sugar than many other fruits, making them an easy daily choice for almost anyone. Fruit 2. Apples are a genuine fiber powerhouse, especially when eaten with the skin on, where most of that fiber and many of the antioxidants are concentrated. That fiber, particularly a type called pectin, slows digestion and helps moderate blood sugar response, which is part of why apples have a reputation for being filling and satisfying, despite being relatively low in calories. Fruit 3. Avocado. Technically a fruit, avocado stands apart from the rest of this list because of its healthy fat content. It's rich in monounsaturated fat, the same type linked to better heart health, along with fiber and potassium. This combination makes it unusually satisfying and supportive of steady energy, rather than the quick spike and crash pattern associated with higher sugar fruits. Fruit 4. Kiwi is often overlooked, but it's exceptionally rich in vitamin C, in some cases providing more per serving than an orange, along with a solid amount of fiber and potassium. Some research has also pointed to kiwi's potential benefits for digestion and sleep quality, making it a small but genuinely impressive addition to a daily diet. Fruit 5. Citrus fruits, oranges, mandarins, and similar citrus fruits combine high vitamin C content with a good amount of fiber, particularly when eaten whole rather than juiced. This fiber content helps slow sugar absorption, supporting steadier energy and blood sugar levels compared to drinking the equivalent amount of orange juice. Fruit 6. Pomegranate seeds are densely packed with antioxidants called punicalagins, which have been studied for their potential role in supporting heart health and reducing inflammation. While slightly higher in natural sugar than berries, the fiber and antioxidant content still make it a strong addition in reasonable portions. Fruit 7. Papaya contains an enzyme called papain, which can support healthy digestion, alongside a strong dose of vitamin C and vitamin A. It's relatively low in calories for its volume, making it a satisfying, hydrating option that's gentle on the digestive system for most people. Fruit 8. Watermelon. Watermelon is over 90% water, making it one of the most hydrating foods available, while also providing lycopene, an antioxidant linked to heart and skin health. Despite tasting quite sweet, its high water content means the actual sugar concentration per bite is relatively low compared to many other fruits, especially when eaten in normal portions. Part 2. 8 fruits to eat with caution. Now let's get into the second half of this list. I want to be clear about something important here. None of these fruits are bad in an absolute sense. Each one comes with a specific, legitimate reason for caution, depending on your health situation, medication, or how much you're eating. Let's go through them one by one. Fruit 9, grapefruit. This is the fruit I mentioned at the very start. Grapefruit contains compounds that interfere with an enzyme in your liver responsible for breaking down many common medications, including certain statins, blood pressure medications, and some anti-anxiety drugs. This interference can cause these medications to build up in your bloodstream at higher, potentially dangerous levels than intended. If you take any prescription medication, it's genuinely worth checking with a doctor or pharmacist before regularly eating grapefruit or drinking grapefruit juice. Fruit 10. Dried fruits like raisins, dried mangoes, and dried apricots concentrate the natural sugar of fresh fruit into a much smaller volume, since most of the water has been removed. A small handful can contain as much sugar as a far larger portion of the fresh version, and because dried fruit is so easy to overeat, portion control becomes a real challenge. Fruit 11. Canned fruit and syrup. Many canned fruits are packed in heavy sugar syrup, which adds a significant amount of extra sugar beyond what's naturally in the fruit itself. Choosing fruit canned in water or its own juice avoids this added sugar load, while still providing convenience. Fruit 12. Fruit juice juicing removes most of the fiber that normally slows down sugar absorption, leaving behind a concentrated dose of sugar that hits your bloodstream much faster than eating the whole fruit would. It often takes several pieces of fruit to make a single glass of juice, meaning you can consume far more sugar than you'd realize from eating fruit in its whole form. Fruit 13. Mango. Mango is delicious and nutritious, but it also has one of the higher sugar contents among common fruits, along with a relatively high glycemic index. For most people, a normal portion is perfectly fine, but for anyone managing blood sugar levels, such as people with diabetes or insulin resistance, portion size and pairing it with protein or fat becomes especially important. Fruit 14. Lychee. This is the fruit I mentioned at the start of the video. Unripe lychee contains compounds that have been linked to serious hypoglycemia, particularly in malnourished children who ate large quantities on an empty stomach, an issue documented in specific outbreaks in parts of India. Properly ripe lychee, eaten in normal amounts as part of a regular meal pattern, is generally considered safe for most people, but this history is exactly why it earns a spot on this cautionary list. Fruit 15. Starfruit contains a naturally occurring neurotoxin that healthy kidneys can typically filter out without issue. However, for people with chronic kidney disease or impaired kidney function, this toxin can build up in the body and has been linked to serious neurological symptoms in documented medical cases. Anyone with existing kidney issues should avoid starfruit entirely and check with their doctor. Fruit 16. Overripe bananas. As bananas ripen, their starch converts into sugar, meaning a very ripe, spotty banana has a noticeably higher sugar content and glycemic impact than a firmer, slightly green one. For most people, this isn't a concern, but for anyone closely monitoring blood sugar, choosing less ripe bananas and watching portion size is a simple, practical adjustment. So there's the full breakdown: 8 fruits that are excellent everyday choices for almost everyone, and 8 fruits that come with specific situations worth knowing about, whether that's a medication interaction, a kidney concern, or simply a sugar content higher than most people expect. I want to repeat something important. This video is not telling you to fear fruit. Fruit, as a category, remains one of the healthiest things you can eat, and the goal here is informed choices, not avoidance. If you're managing diabetes, kidney disease, or take regular medication, these distinctions matter quite a bit more, and it's always worth discussing your specific diet with a doctor or dietitian who knows your full health picture. If this video gave you a clearer, more nuanced way to think about fruit, that's exactly the kind of practical health content we make every week. Subscribe now so you don't miss the next one, and let me know in the comments which fruit from the caution list surprised you the most. If you know someone on medication who eats grapefruit regularly, or someone managing diabetes who could use this breakdown, send this video their way. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.